Worse than salt. The 10 worst foods for your heart. Did you know there are everyday foods that might be more dangerous for your
Heart than salt itself?
Yep, that's right. Seemingly harmless foods that pop up in your breakfast afternoon snack. That quick dinner might be stealthily harming your health and boosting your risk of heart attacks and strokes. Imagine munching on something you love, but it's actually clogging your arteries without you noticing. Scary, huh? What if I told you that some of these foods are considered part of most people's normal diet? Yep, they could be real enemies of your heart. And get this, many of these bad guys come disguised as convenient and delicious. The truth is, danger might be lurking on supermarket shelves and in your own kitchen. In this video, you'll uncover the 10 worst foods for your heart's health. But that's not all. I'll explain why they're so harmful, how they affect your body, and what you can do to protect yourself. And heads up, the number one on this list will talk you because it might be something you consume every week thinking it's all good. But in reality, it could be putting your life at risk. Want to know if you're making these mistakes? Want to learn how to make better choices and take care of your health? Then stick with me. Number 10, processed meats. Processed meats, like ham, bacon, sausage, and salami, are staples for many. They're convenient, tasty, and easy to find, but they hide significant dangers to heart health. They undergo industrial processes that include adding preservatives like nitrites and nitrates, which are used to extend shelf life and enhance the color of the products. The big issue is that when consumed, these compounds can form potentially carcinogenic substances and increase inflammation in the body. Another concern with processed meats is the presence of saturated fats, which can raise bad cholesterol levels when consumed in excess. This type of cholesterol tends to build up in artery walls, encouraging the development of plaques that can obstruct blood flow. This process, known as atherosclerosis, is one of the most common causes of heart attacks and strokes. And it doesn't stop there. Studies show that frequent consumption of these meats is linked to a higher risk, and this is heart failure, as well as contributing to weight gain and insulin resistance. Another factor worsening the situation is the pairing of these meats with other equally harmful foods, like fatty cheeses and refined breads. This combination is a real dangerous cocktail for the heart. Imagine a pizza loaded with salami and cheese. Besides the fats and excessive sodium, there are simple carbs that quickly raise blood sugar, creating a perfect scenario for inflammation and fat buildup in the arteries. But don't be fooled into thinking that only consuming large quantities is harmful. Even regular small servings of processed meats are enough to increase the risks. So the tip is clear. Limit these foods as much as possible. Prioritize fresh meats, like fish rich in omega-3, which help reduce inflammation and protect the cardiovascular system. Number 9. Fried foods. It's hard to resist the smell of crispy French fries or a hot chicken nugget, right? These foods are part of many people's menus, especially during leisure times and social gatherings. But what few stop to think about is the silent and devastating impact that fried foods have on the heart. When foods are fried, especially in reused oils, they form substances that are highly harmful to the body, like trans fats. These fats not only increase bad cholesterol, but also reduce good cholesterol, creating a perfect environment for the emergence of cardiovascular diseases. Another major villain present in fried foods is saturated fat. Excessive consumption of this type of fat contributes to the buildup of snacks in the arteries, a process known as atherosclerosis. This condition can restrict blood flow and increase the risk of events like heart attacks and strokes. Have you ever stopped to think about how much oil a serving of French fries can absorb? Even small portions can contain enough calories and fats to exceed daily recommendations for a healthy diet. And the danger isn't just in fast food or snacks, but at snack bars. Many people believe that frying foods at home, but the truth is that the cooking method remains problematic. Even with vegetable oils considered healthy, like canola or sunflower oil, the high temperatures of frying transform these oils into substances toxic to the body. Plus, who hasn't reused oil to save money? Unfortunately, this habit greatly enhances the formation of harmful compounds. To protect your health, the best option is to enjoy it, but what many ignore is that these moments of temporary pleasure can cost dearly for heart health. Sodas and other sugary drinks like industrialized juices and energy drinks are true sugar and empty calorie bombs. Frequent consumption of these products can lead to increased abdominal circumference, and primarily the development of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and hypertension, factors that put the heart at risk. Did you know that a single can of soda can contain more than 10 teaspoons of sugar? This excess sugar in the blood stimulates the production of insulin, a hormone that in large quantities favors the accumulation of visceral fat, the kind that deposits around the organs and is directly associated with cardiovascular problems. Another alarming point is that these drinks do not promote satiety. This means that in addition to consuming a high amount of calories, you will still be hungry, which can lead to the calories and lack of nutrients turns these drinks into silent enemies of health. And the danger is not restricted just to traditional sodas. Zero or diet versions might seem like healthy alternatives, but they usually contain artificial sweeteners that, according to studies, are also linked to metabolic problems and increased appetite. Industrialized juices, for their part, fool many people. Even those that claim to be natural often contain large amounts of sugar and preservatives with very little presence of fibers found in fresh fruit. This means that by opting for a box juice instead of a fruit, you are exchanging essential nutrients for sugar and chemical additives. Energy drinks, in addition to excess sugar, carry high doses of caffeine and other stimulating substances that can raise blood pressure and overload the heart. To take care of the heart and health as a whole, the best choice is simple and accessible water. It hydrates without calories and without side effects, one of very trying natural juices made at home and consumed in moderation. Number 7. Industrialized sweets and cakes. Who has never given in to the temptation of a soft cake, a colorful sweet, or that harmless chocolate in the middle of the afternoon? These foods are part of celebrations, comfort moments, and even many people's routine. However, what few know is that these pleasures can bring serious consequences for heart health. Industrialized sweets and cakes are full of refined sugars and trans fats, a dangerous combination that favors the accumulation of fat in the arteries and the increase of bad cholesterol. The sugar present in these foods, when consumed in excess, not only stimulates weight gain, but also triggers inflammatory processes in the body. Chronic inflammation is one of the factors that most contribute to the development of cardiovascular diseases. Moreover, high sugar consumption leads to constant spikes in blood glucose, which overloads the pancreas and can result in insulin resistance, significantly increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes, one of the conditions most linked to heart problems. Another major problem with industrialized cakes and sweets is the presence of dreaded trans fats used to give texture and prolong the shelf life of these products. This artificial fat is especially harmful because it not only raises LDL but also reduces HDL, good cholesterol. This imbalance favors the deposition of fat plaques in the walls of the arteries, narrowing them and impairing blood circulation. The result: increased risk of heart attack, stroke, and other cardiovascular complications. And don't be fooled, even products labeled as sugar-free or light can contain artificial sweeteners and hidden fats that are harmful to the body. Moreover, many of these foods are rich in empty calories, that is, they provide energy without offering essential nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and fibers. This unbalanced consumption leads to increased visceral fat and consequently to aggravated cardiovascular risk. Imagine the routine: a piece of cake at breakfast, a sweet after lunch, and at
Night, that innocent chocolate while watching TV. When we add up these small pleasures, the result is a high consumption of sugar and fats throughout the day, which gradually undermines heart health.
the body can tolerate occasional excesses, but constant habit is what really causes damage. But how to resist these temptations? The answer lies in moderation and healthy alternatives. Instead of industrialized cakes, how about preparing homemade versions with whole grain flours and natural sweeteners? Fresh fruits are also excellent options to satisfy the craving for a sweet without harming health. And if the idea is to indulge in chocolate, opt for dark chocolate with a high cocoa content, consumed in moderation. Small changes can transform your relationship with food and, more importantly, preserve the health of your heart. Number 6. Fast food. Convenience, speed, and distinctive flavor. This is how fast food wins over thousands of people around the world. Whether it's a juicy burger, a serving of French fries, or that soda that always accompanies the combo, these foods seem to be the perfect solution for busy days and for those looking for uncomplicated meals. But behind this convenience, there's a silent and deadly danger for your heart. Frequent consumption of fast food is directly associated with an increase in cardiovascular diseases, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and hypertension, a risky mix that could shorten your life. Most fast food items are cooked with saturated and trans fats, which, as we've seen, increased bad cholesterol levels and decreased good cholesterol. This combo leads to the buildup of plaques and arteries, making it hard for blood to flow and raising the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Besides the harmful fats, fast food is usually super high in calories. A single meal can pack more calories than you should have in an entire day, without delivering the nutrients your body really needs. Another concern is the excess sodium in these foods. Salt is used to boost flavor and preserve products, but too much can lead to high blood pressure, a major risk factor for heart issues. Everything about how a juicy burger, along with fries and soda, might contain more than double your daily recommended sodium intake, and don't be fooled by the seemingly healthier options on the menus. Many fast food salads come loaded with fatty, caloric dressings, wiping out any attempt at a balanced meal. Another alarming factor is the refined carbs in buns, fries, and desserts. These carbs are quickly absorbed by the body, causing blood sugar spikes and consequently an increase in insulin production. This process promotes the accumulation of visceral fat, the kind that surrounds organs and is particularly dangerous for cardiovascular health. Moreover, frequent consumption of fast food is linked to increased chronic inflammation in the body, further heightening the risk of heart disease. But if you think the solution is simply not overdoing it, it's important to understand that even occasional consumption can be harmful when combined with other poor dietary habits. The good news is there are alternatives. Opting for homemade meals prepared with fresh ingredients is always the best choice, and if your day-to-day life is unavoidably hectic, it's worth seeking out healthier fast food options like sandwiches made with whole grain bread, lean proteins, and fresh veggies. 5 Milk chocolate and white chocolate. Who hasn't indulged in a piece of chocolate after a stressful day or as a reward after accomplishing a task? Chocolate is undoubtedly one of the world's most beloved sweets, always present at various occasions. But when it comes to milk chocolate and white chocolate, it's time to raise a red flag. As delicious as they are, these types of chocolate carry a dangerous combo for the heart: excessive sugar and saturated fats.
And what does this mean for your health?
The answer is straightforward and worrisome: a higher risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. Milk chocolate, which tends to be most people's favorite, contains more sugar than cocoa. This excess sugar is a major villain when it comes to cardiovascular health, as it causes blood sugar spikes, leading to weight gain and insulin resistance. These factors in turn increase the likelihood of developing type 2 diabetes, a condition directly linked to an increased risk of heart problems. White chocolate, often seen as even more calorie-dense and less nutritious. Another severe issue with these chocolates is the presence of saturated fats, derived both from cocoa butter and the additives used to texture and extend the product's shelf life. Additionally, many industrial versions of these chocolates also contain trans fats, further heightening the damage to heart health. And it's not just that regular consumption of milk and white chocolates linked to an increase in visceral fat, the kind that accumulates around organs and is extremely dangerous for cardiovascular health. This type of fat is associated with the development of hypertension, chronic inflammation, and even hormonal changes that can harm the circulatory system. But do you really need to give up chocolate entirely? The good news is no. The secret lies in the choice and moderation. Chocolates high in cocoa are rich in antioxidants like flavonoids, which help protect the heart and improve blood circulation. Opting for these versions consumed in small amounts can actually offer health benefits. However, it's crucial to avoid milk and white chocolates as part of your regular diet, reserving them for special occasions and in strict moderation. Another important tip is to pay attention to the packaging. Many products marketed as chocolate have more sugar and fat than any other ingredient. Always prioritize labels with a shorter ingredient list and no artificial additives. And if the craving for something sweet hits hard, why not explore healthier alternatives like fresh fruits or even a square of dark chocolate? Your heart and your overall health deserve conscious choices. Number 4. Refined breads and pastas. The smell of fresh bread coming out of the oven is almost irresistible, just like that hot pasta covered with a tasty sauce. Breads and pastas are staples for many people around the world, and are practically indispensable in daily life. But when we talk about products made with refined flour, a warning needs to be issued. These foods, although common and seemingly harmless, can be real villains for heart health. This is because the simple carbs in these products are quickly absorbed by the body, causing blood sugar spikes that over time bring dangerous consequences. When we eat white breads, traditional pastas, or any food made with refined flour, our bodies rapidly convert these carbs into this process raises insulin levels in the blood, encouraging fat storage, particularly visceral fat, which accumulates around the organs and is directly linked to an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases. Moreover, the blood sugar spikes followed by sudden drops can cause hunger in short period, leading to excessive calorie consumption and weight gain, another risk factor for heart problems. Another concerning point is that refined breads and pastas, besides being low in fiber, are often accompanied by equally harmful ingredients. Who hasn't put together a sandwich with processed meats and fatty cheeses, or ordered a pizza loaded with cheeses and processed meats? These combinations further amplify the damage to health, resulting in high-calorie meals full of saturated fats and with little nutritional value. This overload of empty calories contributes to an increase in bad cholesterol. It's important to remember that contrary to what anything, not all carbs are harmful. The problem lies in the type of carbs consumed. While refined carbs harm health, complex carbs, found in whole grains, legumes, and some fruits, are important allies for the heart, providing energy gradually and helping to maintain stable blood sugar levels. Switching from white bread to whole grain or traditional pastas to versions made with whole grains is a simple step that can make a big difference. Besides the issues related to blood sugar and cholesterol, another factor that deserves attention is the excess sodium present in many industrialized breads. This is because to increase preservation and enhanced flavor, the food industry adds large amounts of salt, which can raise blood pressure and strain the heart. Therefore, whenever possible, prepare your own pastas and breads at home, controlling the amount of salt and opting for whole or healthier alternative flours. Making smart substitutions is key to maintaining pleasure at the table without putting your health at risk. Try preparing sandwiches with whole grain breads, stuffed with vegetables and lean proteins, or whole grain pastas accompanied by natural tomato-based sauces and fresh spices. Your taste buds may adapt quicker than you think, and the benefits to your heart health will be noticeable over time. After all, true satisfaction comes not only from flavor, but also from caring for your body. Number 3. Whole dairy products. For many people, starting the day with a glass of milk, a slice of cheese, or a spoonful of cream is common and even comforting. These foods are part of the dietary tradition in many homes, and for a long time were seen as essential for health. However, when we talk about whole dairy products, it's important to raise a flag. Frequent consumption of these products can pose a serious risk to heart health. This is because they are high in saturated fats, a type of fat that raises levels of bad cholesterol and promotes the formation of fat plaques in the arteries. When these plaques accumulate, the result is a narrowing of the blood vessels, making it difficult for blood to flow and increasing the risk of diseases like atherosclerosis, heart attack, and stroke. Moreover, many whole dairy products also contain high levels of sodium, especially cured and processed cheeses, which can contribute to elevated blood pressure. It's important to remember that hypertension is one of the main causes of problems and often progresses silently without apparent symptoms until a serious complication occurs. Have you ever stopped to think about the amount of fat and salt in a simple slice of yellow cheese or in that cream used to flavor dishes? Small daily habits can, over time, have a considerable impact on cardiovascular health, and it's not just the obvious foods that deserve attention. Sweetened whole yogurts, ice creams, and even desserts made with condensed milk, dairy with them large amounts of saturated fats and sugars, making them even more harmful. But does this mean you need to eliminate all dairy from your diet? The answer is no. The secret is in making healthier choices. Opting for skimmed or semi-skimmed versions can be an important step in reducing the consumption of saturated fats, while still maintaining the nutritional benefits of milk and its derivatives, such as calcium and proteins. Moreover, plant-based alternatives like almond, oat, or soy milk are interesting options for those looking for a lighter, heart-friendly diet. Another valuable tip is to pay attention to product labels. Often food sold as light still contains significant amounts of fat and sodium. Prioritize options with fewer ingredients and no artificial additives, and if you can't give up the taste of cheeses, try varieties with less lat, like ricotta or cottage, which can be incorporated into tasty and healthy making. Small substitutions in daily life doesn't have to be a sacrifice. Number 2, microwave butter popcorn. That movie night with a bucket of warm popcorn might seem harmless, even a tradition for many, and popcorn in its most natural form is indeed a healthy snack, rich in fiber and low in calories. But when it comes to microwave butter popcorn, the story changes, and drastically. Behind the convenience of a ready-to-pop packet lies a combination of ingredients that can be extremely harmful to the heart. The first big villain in this story is the presence of trans fats used to extend the shelf life and improve the texture of the popcorn. This type of fat is known for increasing bad cholesterol levels. Moreover, trans fat encourages inflammation in the body, one of the main risk factors for heart problems. Have you ever stopped to think that by consuming just one packet of microwave popcorn, you might be ingesting almost half daily recommended amount of trans fat? And the problems don't stop there. Many microwave popcorn varieties contain artificial flavorings and preservatives that, aside from offering no nutritional value, can have long-term harmful effects on health. Some of these chemical substances are linked to inflammatory reactions and even respiratory issues. And the artificial butter used. Unlike traditional butter, this processed ingredient is loaded with saturated fats and additives that only increase the damage to the body. But should popcorn be banned from a diet? Not at all. What should be avoided are the industrialized versions loaded with additives. Preparing popcorn at home in a simple way, with natural corn and a drizzle of olive oil, is an excellent alternative. This version preserves the benefits of the fibers which aid in digestion and promote satiety, without the dangers of trans fats and excessive sodium. One more flavor up for natural herbs such as oregano or paprika to season without harming the heart. If you regularly consume microwave popcorn, it's time to rethink this habit. Choosing convenience over more conscious and healthy choices doesn't mean giving
up the pleasure of a tasty snack.
On the contrary, it's about investing in your health and quality of life. Number 1. Industrialized hamburgers. When hunger strikes and time is short, turning to a ready-made burger might seem like the most practical solution. Just pull it from a freezer, throw it on the skillet, and in a few minutes your meal is served. But what many don't realize is that behind this convenience lies one of most harmful foods for heart health. Industrialized burgers are packed with ingredients that, when consumed frequently, can lead to serious cardiovascular complications. The first major problem with these products is the quality of the meat used. Often industrialized burgers are made with quality meats, full of saturated fats and preservatives. These fats, when consumed in excess, increase bad cholesterol levels in favor of the formation of fat plaques and arteries, a process that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. Moreover, saturated fat contributes to the accumulation of visceral fat, the kind that surrounds the organs, and is extremely dangerous for the cardiovascular system. Another concerning factor is the additives used to preserve and flavor the burger. Nitrites, nitrates, and other preservatives are common in these products, and when metabolized by the body can form potentially carcinogenic substances. And it's not just that, these additives also encourage inflammatory processes in the body, which, combined with the effects of saturated fats, create a conducive environment for the development of chronic diseases. The problem becomes even more serious when these burgers are consumed in meals that include other harmful foods like French fries, sodas, and fatty sauces. This combo is a real caloric and nutritional bomb loaded with bad fats, sugars, and sodium, a dangerous mix that overloads the heart and promotes the accumulation of fat in the arteries. But what about artisanal or homemade burger options? The difference is huge. Preparing your own burger with lean meats like ground round or chicken, natural seasonings, is a much healthier alternative. Besides, you can replace white bread with whole grain versions and add fresh vegetables to the meal, making it more balanced and heart-friendly. For those looking for an even lighter option, burgers made from grains, vegetables, and plant proteins can be tasty and nutritious. It's important to remember that convenience should not come at the cost of your health. Making more conscious choices and opting for fresh foods may take a bit more time, but the benefits for your cardiovascular health are priceless. After all, your life is worth much more than the rush of a quick meal. If you want to keep receiving the best videos for your health, subscribe to the channel because it exists for one reason: to make you a healthier person with a higher quality of life. Helping you is my mission. In the video now appearing on your screen, I reveal the 10 foods banned for those with arthritis. Click on the screen and check it out. So see you in the next video.